Welcome to Lauren Farr's introduction video for CUIN 4303 Second Language Acquisition. Who is Lauren Farr? Well, I was born and raised here in Texas. In my early years, I lived in Rosenberg, Texas, and when I was about 12 years old, I moved to Katy, Texas, where I currently am now. I am 29 years old and I have been married to my husband Shelby for 2 years coming up in March. And a fun fact is that I'm the oldest of 7 children. I am currently in my student teaching 2 semester. I am working towards graduating in May. Hallelujah! For my teaching and learning major with certification areas in EC through 6 generalist and EC through 12 special education. I am currently a student teacher in the special ed department at Catherine Becky Elementary in Katy ISD. Because I am in the special ed department, I do not necessarily have a class, rather than I work with individual students to help meet their IEP goals and provide them with accommodations to be successful in the classroom. Now, this could mean that I'm in YCAP working with students that are autistic, or I could be in resource helping students work through reading problems. I could be in class support through a general classroom. I could be in life schools. There's lots of different areas where I am required to work with the students. So I don't necessarily have a lesson plan that I work with the students. It's more like working with the students towards their IEP so they can reach that goal. So why special education? The simple answer is I was in the special education program. I have certain learning disabilities that I needed accommodations to be successful in my classroom. And while I was successful in the program, there were many students that I saw that were not successful in this program. So I want to become a special education teacher so I can make sure that every student in the special ed program are provided with the necessary accommodations, resources, what they need to be successful and to become the best that they can be. So I'm English speaking and I was raised in an English speaking home. Up until about my junior high year, that's when we moved to Katy and I got placed in a science course with a student that was deaf. While he was deaf, he could read lips and he could speak fluently, so he was mainstreamed into normal gen ed classes like I was. So we got placed at the same table because we were both mainstreamed through the special education programs. So he could read lips, but if the teacher looked down or turned around and wrote on the board or went behind her computer screen to check her notes, he couldn't read her lips because he couldn't see her lips. He would then ask me, "What did she say?" Well, I started getting in trouble for talking during class when I was just repeating what the lesson was. So I quickly decided to start learning sign language. And I first started by myself and just learning little words here and there, not conversational, just enough to get the gist of the class across to him. And then I decided in high school to take it as my foreign language. So I took 3 years in high school. And then I fell in love with the community. I fell in love with how supportive everyone is and how they just encourage people to learn and to be part of their culture. It's just so welcoming. And then I continued on because at first I wanted to be a special ed teacher specifically to the students that are deaf. So I tried to get my interpreting license as well as my special education certification so that I could be a special ed teacher. So I took 3 semesters in college and then quickly realized that interpreting was not what I wanted to do. I wanted to teach in sign language, and they unfortunately do not have a program for that at University of Houston. So I dropped out of the program and focused on my special education. How ASL will help me as a teacher. Well, it will help me provide my children with not just a verbal lesson, but I can provide a visual and emotion that can hopefully help them remember what the lesson is about. And I can also help my students that may be nonverbal or have trouble communicating. I can teach them simple phrases as yes, no, thank you, restroom, food, hungry, drink. These are simple phrases that will help them communicate to me what their needs and wants are, helping me become a better teacher for them. So I really hope that you enjoyed my little introduction video, and I look forward to the rest of this semester.